fulfill my promise to y'all to do a live, a little bit of a departure in content for me. Although, if you want to watch my take on last season of Love is Blind and the overt ableism of uh, kinetic content previous to the Love is Blind franchise and another show called Married at First Sight, please watch that. Actually, please watch that. But I'm on here tonight. And like I said, this is an art. I showcase my own art, and it is a Barbie art channel. And I am coming on here because I watched Love is Blind as a guilty pleasure, as I think that we all do. Hopefully everybody that was on here last night will find their way here, and if not, you can watch this back later. This is good practice for me. And you can see some of my dolls on the back of my door. I'm not going to go through those, but yeah, I think that it's apropos to discuss when I see ableism in popular culture, and when I see negative representation on popular TV shows. And I explained in my last video about Love is Blind specifically, um, why I started watching Love is Blind, because people always ask me that question. They're always like, Damien, if this is elective viewing, if you feel like, it's such a problem, then just like turn it off or whatever. And while I understand completely what they're getting at, and I never ever even watched reality TV, as it were. I mean, reality TV has unfortunately been in the populace since, for almost, in some form, reality TV has been around for 40 years, really. And we grew up, latchkey Gen X kids like myself grew up digesting a lot of TV as a form of entertainment and as a form of, oh, there, hello everyone, hello, um gaming channel, hello Brooklyn. There people are coming, good. Anyway, what I was saying is, we Gen X grew up watching a lot of television, sitting in front of the boob tube, as it were. So we ended up watching a lot of reality TV. So reality TV is not new, it's just in a different form. And I think it's still in keeping with my channel to discuss um, themes of ableism in popular culture. It happens to be on a television show or on an internationally broadcast television show, or it happens to be on the internet, but I think it's synonymous. Netflix is synonymous with TV. So, essentially, if you want to watch my commentary, I did about an hour and 44-minute commentary of last season's multiple ableist themes on Love is Blind, and I'm not going to go over that. I'm having this commentary uh, uh, under the assumption that we all understand the definition of ableism and what I'm actually talking about. So if you don't know what the definition of ableism is, please Google it. I'm just going to explain it in plain English. Ableism can take on many forms, and it is, or it could be seen as, a form of bigotry against disabled people specifically. It could also be used as a form of bigotry against people who may not have something that's classified as a disability, but it may be a perception of disability, or a perception of themselves, of having, something wrong with them. Um, but generally, ableism is classified as a form of bigotry that can take on many forms, having to do specifically with disability, either medically diagnosed, internally thought of, or perceived in society. And it can take on many forms, one of which is social. Another type of ableism in society is called, it's a form of bigotry and discrimination against disabled people specifically. And it doesn't have to be people with just physical differences. It could be people that you wouldn't know are disabled, known as invisible disabilities. So I feel like I'm rambling. I'm trying to define ableism. I assume everyone knows or has a baseline of what I'm talking about when I say ableism. I guess if you don't, please look it up, because it's very hard to like define all the moving parts of it. But usually um, when you're part of the class that is discriminated against because of this problem in society, it is very exhausting to have to explain what it is that you're experiencing. But the word for bigotry against disabled people, that can take on many forms, is called ableism. So I'm going to discuss the perceived ableist themes, or what I'm perceiving to be ableist themes of kinetic content and Love is Blind as a franchise in general. I shouldn't say that I'm going to actually. I shouldn't say that I'm actually going to talk about that. But like I said, if you want to see what I'm talking about with season 9, you can go ahead and do that. But season 10, Love is Blind. Okay, the main thing that I want to talk about is Emma and Mike, and whoever is saying like, what the F is she rambling about? Yeah, if you don't want to hear me ramble, I don't know why you're watching me then. This is my channel and I can ramble if I want to. And the people that appreciate it can appreciate it. The people that don't, oh well. Anyway, so I wanted to say, and I probably need some content moderation. I probably need some content moderation. So moderators, come at me. I need some help. But anyway, okay, this season 10, Love is Blind, Emma and Mike. It seems to me that there's a lot of, how shall I put it? They tend to pick out themes traditionally. They task women with some sort of theme of, I don't feel good enough, or my body isn't good enough for this man that is, that's choosing me. And I've always felt insecure about that. We've seen themes of that happening in Love is Blind throughout the years, and also their sister show that's made by the same production company, Kinetic. Kinetic is just problematic in general. But as far as themes of ableism are concerned, I've seen it many times. And this particular season, Emma and Mike, they seem to be scapegoating Emma and playing off of her fears and insecurities having to do with her physical difference, with the scar or condition with melanoma on her arm. They didn't really go into explaining that, but she was born with a form of melanoma, and she was also adopted from China. She is what's known as a transracial adoption, meaning she was adopted by a white family, and they kind of dive into the insecurities of that. And they also, in my opinion, Love is Blind as a franchise exploits people's disabilities, either realized or perceived, for money. And that's what's known as institutionalized ableism, meaning an institution is using a stereotype to discriminate or to gain something, namely money. And so they use this sort of the woman is insecure, this trope, that she's insecure about her body, and that, a man will never have her, and how dare she, and blah blah blah, or I mean, how dare he, and all of this. And we saw that last season like I said, you can go watch that live. But and to be fair, I want to say that I think this season Love is Blind's ableism wasn't so overt, but they have, the Emma, I think really they were just trying to explore some theme because they made a lot of money on the theme last season. If you don't recall, they had Edmund, and I don't know how they cast him, and I really don't know what his condition was, but he was either he either had a condition, and they exploited it for money, or he didn't have a condition and they played it up for money. Among other cast members had other things going on as well. So I think they have found a formula involving people's disabilities or perceived disabilities, and they're using that formula to make money. Now, I'm going to have a take on that. Basically, that's a little different than what you might think. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. If the person that has the disability that's being portrayed as such on television is kind of like in on the joke. We see that last season with Madison. I mean, she had a blinding eye condition. She knows she's going on a show called Love is Blind. She's sort of in on the joke, even though that was problematic as well, because it's problematic not for her, but to put those sort of stereotypes out in society. It makes it difficult for other people that have the disability to live their lives, because people that are not the Love is Blind, people that are not her would take that information and use it to make fun of people. And we've seen that happen over and over again, and that's really just problematic, right? So again, what I was going to say is, I guess in Love is Blind's defense, it was better this season. It wasn't so of the ableism, as it were. The bigotry against disabled people wasn't so out front, but I find it really, really horribly sad and problematic that 35 years after the Americans with Disabilities Act passage, we're still sort of, putting disabled people on display on the internet or on TV, and rather than educating the public, they're using totally like stereotypes and tropes. Like, it is a stereotype, and I can't speak for Emma, but it is I don't pretend to speak for her just because I have a disability and she has a difference. However, it is problematic to put these sorts of stereotypes out, particularly about disabled women that also happen to be women of color. You notice it's not really, they do this. They hang women of color out to dry on this franchise. And I'm not the first creator to let somebody know that, basically. You can watch all kinds of people, creators that have the same feeling as me, that they just, they seek to make women look bad, and they seek to make women look insecure, and just like, they seek to make women like, center men, and like, it's all of it is using stereotype to make money. And they just happen to be using Emma's condition to make money. And they've been known as a franchise to put incorrect health information out there internationally. Again, and it's not like they can print a retraction. It's on the show for everybody to watch for eternity. You can watch season 1, for God's sake, still. So if there's wrong information, it's not like they've been known to go back and say, hey, we didn't know this person was going to say or do this. this is incorrect. I mean, they try to maybe set the record straight with Reunion. We saw that with this guy, Mike, who said type 2 diabetes last season was something that Jordan's kid could just get rid of, which is grossly wrong information. And it's irresponsible of Netflix and the producers to put that out there. Now, I will also say that, I understand that Netflix, Love is Blind, is for entertainment purposes only. And I certainly don't look to reality TV to be some bastion of like disability rights and correct information. So, I mean, basically, the situation that I'm talking about is the overt use of a person's disability on Love is Blind, and stereotypes about their condition to make money. And it's not that like I said, the people that are going on Love is Blind somewhat understand that this is happening, right? And maybe I'm just not, maybe I'm unaware, maybe it's that they want to use the theme to make money, but I think that my flower fell off. I think that I just think that's a problematic way to somewhat educate people about disability. And I am definitely going to need some content moderation. I'm going to block some people. I don't know why you'd spend your time critiquing a small YouTuber. But anyway, you do you. Yeah, well, thank you to everyone who got something out of this. I know it was a little bit disjointed, a little bit disjointed. But my point is, Love is Blind is a franchise, uses ableist themes to make money, and ableism is as wrong as any other ism, as wrong as sexism, as wrong as racism, as wrong as classism, all the isms. Ableism is just another ism and is not some made up woke term. It's discrimination and bigotry in relation to someone's disability. And, where Love is Blind could take the opportunity to showcase positivity and really take the time to educate the populace and have positive representation. Instead, every single time they choose to represent disability in a stereotypical way that leans into negative stereotypes about specifically women with disabilities. And like I said, if you want a more deep dive as to what I think about their themes last season, go watch that content. This one was a little bit more rambly. Plus, I wanted to say too that this thing that they did where they edited it to where apparently, this was the first time Emma let her parents know what difficulties she had with being different, and they really didn't know what was going on with her, and to put that out there as a stereotype that her parents really didn't know that her adoption or that her difference was a problem for her. In what world is anyone living in? I mean, that's possible that could have happened, but I think that was also an ableist theme as well. Because it's I mean, I guess that might be a situation. I'm curious to learn about I'm curious to watch the reunion to see if any of these type of repeated ableist themes are addressed. And I'm curious to see how they do so, because last season they had to address the fact that one of the minor cast members said that childhood diabetes is something that you can get rid of if you try real hard with your diet, which is, oh my goodness. So, of course they came back out and sort of printed a retraction on the reunion and said, oh, he donated all this stuff to diabetes organizations, and he had a real talk, and he really apologized to Jordan for putting that wrong information out there. And I'm interested to see in the reunion if, in fact, they're going to do something like that. Like, oh, it was wrong of us to like really, put that out there that, Emma was so insecure. And like I said, I honestly, I don't have a problem with disabled people making money off of their own stereotypes as long as they're in on the joke. But, I have a feeling they edit it that way, and that's wrong, right? So, yeah, I'm gonna actually block a bunch of people. Well, so keep talking because after this live, you're gonna get blocked. Okay. And I'm just doing this for, practice purposes anyway. So practice makes perfect. I'm sorry that none of my subscribers are here to see this and only 2 people are watching. But anyway, those are the themes that I wanted to address about this season of Love is Blind. I really, maybe I'll come back here after I block some people and watch the reunion on Wednesday and come back with an updated take on Love is Blind and their ableism. I've been in many other creators' comments discussing this part of the bigotry of Love is Blind, because I do think that it is missed by the general population, because most people are not disabled. They do not understand the bigotry and discrimination and problematic themes of television when it comes to disabled people. Anyway, I'm going to get off of this live. I'm actually about to watch Club Shay Shay and Matt Rife. Matt Rife actually fascinates me. So I'm about to watch that. But anyway, if you're serious, which most of these people in this live are not, if you're serious, comment below on what you think about what I said about the continued ableist themes of kinetic content and Love is Blind in general. And if you think that Love is Blind continues to make money off stereotyping disabled people negatively. Because I think that's what they do. And of course, people have said, well, if you really feel that way, just stop watching it. Of course, I'm not going to stop watching it. I pay for Netflix anyway, so they make money anyway. Even if I did stop watching it, I'm still supporting them, and I'm not going to cancel my subscription. But anyway, I know this was a departure from my channel. I usually make Barbie art and I make visual art. So if you'd like to support me, go to my Redbubble shop and buy one of my pieces of art. There's also a link in my description for my store to it actually, if you go to my store and purchase one of these, actually, what was I going to do? Oh, okay, no, this one is not good. All right, this one is not good. All right, if you go to my store, I'm off camera. Okay, I had them all set up. Anyway, I am a real artist. I'm not some weird AI artist. If you go to my store, the link is in my community tab, one of my community posts. I do make jewelry, and if you go to my store and pay $10 plus shipping, I will send you one of my glass cabochon necklaces, and I will pick it for you, and I'll send it to you. And if you'd like me to make a custom piece, this is a better one. If you'd like me to make a custom piece, I can do that as well. You see, this is actually a photograph of a piece of art of mine that I cut up and put into a necklace. So yes, I truly am an artist. And I'm actually wearing a piece of my art. I'm actually wearing a scarf. I did a study on color, texture, and pattern in a series of photographs that I did photographing myself in fishnets. And I'm actually wearing a sports bra under this scarf, so I don't want to fully take it off. But yeah, that's my legs. That's my legs in fishnets, and it's kind of like optical illusion sort of, and it's geometric, and fishnets are very empowering to me as a disabled woman. So it's a kind of a color study in fishnets, and I use fishnets a lot in my visual artwork, as you'll see. As if you go through the shorts on my channel, you'll see these very fishnets manipulated into video installations. And yeah, I make stickers with this image on Redbubble and things like that. So if you'd like to support me, if you'd like to support me, please go to my Redbubble shop. The link is in the description there, not of this video, but just my channel in general. And yeah, I know my commentary on Love is Blind was a bit disjointed, but anyway, thanks for putting up with me. Thanks for coming to my live, some people, and some people are going to get blocked. Anyway, don't let anyone steal your joy or tell you you're stupid, because if they're spending energy telling you that, then they're the ones that are dumb. Anyway, be well, people. I'm so glad that I have 65 subscribers now, and the people that are real really do support me, and I appreciate it. Have a great rest of your night. All right. See you later. Bye.